this is going to be our first podcast.
Brilliant.
Of the ComCab era. And I think one of the reasons why I would like to start and put them out is because I want to get an understanding about the ComCab family, about our drivers, understand our drivers a little bit more. So, Stephen, you're one of our drivers.
Good afternoon. Oh, good morning, yeah, I should say, yeah.
How long have you been with ComCab?
9 years on the 21st of August.
Lovely. 21st of August. That remits with me because I was born in August, so that's a good omen to start with. So the best thing about the way that I want to sort of understand about our drivers and our family and what we can do and how we can do things better, I think, is personally to really get an in-depth view of a driver.
Yeah.
So where did you start, Stephen? Like 9 years you've been with ComCab. Is that how long you've been a cab driver? Or?
9 years as a cab driver.
So
that actually made me feel like I want to be a cab driver.
Right, okay.
It's a good little...
So 9 years as a cab driver. What was you doing before you was a cab driver?
I was working for Tesco's.
All right, okay.
Basically, I'm just about to come out on a route, and the guy said to me, "Why don't you do the yellow badge? It don't take so long as much as the green." When the green was like 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
He said the yellow badge is only about 2 years at the most. So I went home, and then I got a trigger again about 3 weeks later. Then I became to do it on that yellow badge, which is the Haringey's Suburban badge.
So did you go full time? Was it working to get the yellow badge, or was you working part time and then doing?
Yeah, I was doing full time at Tesco's.
Right.
And then I was actually going out of an evening in my car to have a look around certain places I wanted to go and see, and certain areas I had to hit on. Because sometimes if you go too far out, you want something to bring you back in. So I was always trying to make it halfway so I could finish early.
Yep.
And go to work the next day.
So say from start to finish, how long did your yellow badge take?
I'd say 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
I could have done it in 15 months if I weren't working, maybe 12.
Okay. And I understand, and obviously I know sectors. You work a certain sector. What sector do you work?
Tottenham Haringey.
Tottenham and Haringey.
Yeah.
So that's where you dominantly do your pick-up, your drop-offs in that area. But if you take a pick-up that's in that area, that can take you out of the area to wherever it's going. That's allowed, right? Okay, that's good. So 2.5 years, done the yellow badge, became a yellow badge. How did you get your first taxi?
Through my mate Sam. He worked for ComCab as well, and he rented a vehicle from his cab. I rented it for about a year, and then basically I got signed up with ComCab because he wanted to sell his cab. So as he sold his cab, I needed a vehicle. So that's when ComCab came in to actually get me on board with their cabs.
Okay, so your first rental was with ComCab, yeah?
Yeah, well, more or less, yeah.
And have you been a rental ever since?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So from that, you've always been a renter. You chose that way because you prefer that than buying?
Yeah, because, you work, and you work, maybe it takes you two or 3 days to actually get to pay the cab, but then the rest of the days the money's yours,
right? And
you haven't got to worry about like, all the insurance, everything's involved. So it's a nice way of.
Yeah, I think I look at that and I speak to other drivers who purchase a vehicle outright, and I talk to renters, and some have their views that they like it to be theirs. But then I speak to another renter, and he says exactly the same as yourself.
Yeah.
That the only worry that you have is to pay for the rent.
Yeah.
And there is no more stress or worries. If it breaks down, it blows up, whatever it is, you just get another taxi.
Another taxi, yeah. So like you work the day by day is what I do. So basically, I don't say, on a Monday I've got to get X amount of pounds. Otherwise, you feel more harder for you to cope with it. But if you just say to take the day by day on the Monday, Tuesday, and before you know it, sometimes I actually got the rent in 2 days.
Oh, so you don't have, like, I talked to some drivers, and when I was couriering, I used to have my target every day, and I would stay out until I hit that. You don't have that, no?
What I do, I hit my target, and then I go home. I can do it between 200 and 250, between 6 and 8 hours, to get that target. Then if I get 190 or 170 or something close, till I go. But then I still enjoy the rest of the day. And what time I've got?
Fine.
I've got a lot of family.
So on that journey of becoming a yellow badge to where we are now, 9 years, it's a long time being a cab driver. What changes have you seen in your environmental being like fixed in a sector, like obviously for the Tottenham, How and Haringey? Have you seen lots of changes within them sectors?
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of taxis sitting on the ranks at Tottenham Hill, and that's how I first started. When I started straight in the Tottenham Hill, I would get a job, and then I'd come back to the rank, and there'd be 9 cabbies waiting in the cab, and then I don't know where I was going after. So that could be a £5 or £7 job. But then queuing up again. But ComCab, you're always kind of moving.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'd speak to some rank drivers, and that's what they like. They like that beauty of picking up from a rank, going to the drop-off, coming back to the rank and sitting, because they have their chats, they know the drivers that are on there. But I personally, I do think that can stealth your takings, because you're not out and you're not about looking.
You want to be out on less time as possible. You know, I try to aim between 6 and 8, and it works for me because I'm always seem to be moving.
I think one of the beauties about why you become a cab driver, and as I know because all my family are cab drivers, is that the beauty about street hail. Now, within your sector, you can street hail the same as any other driver. Yeah. So that's what I always look at, the difference between a rank driver and a street hail driver is one searches and one waits for its prey. Yeah. So from that, they are, I think, 2 different breeds of drivers in that respect. But I think that's all good. Have you seen that over the years that you think the street hails have declined?
No,
the street hails.
I always seem to get a street hail when I've got someone in the cab.
Right.
When I've got no one in the cab, I don't get those street hails. Right. But I see more people hailing down cabbies now, from me anyway, around all areas that I've been to.
Okay. And obviously you work and you rent one of our taxis, so that's got a fully fitted kit in, and everything, the tablet, the camera, the card machine, the meter, and everything. So we supply everything for you. So you've got no worries about any type of equipment that you have, because it's all there. It's all there for you. That's good.
Yes, peace of mind, knowing that every day you can go out and get what you can earn, and actually have a vehicle and enjoy driving that vehicle. Because I've said to you once before that when I used to do the TX4s, I feel like if I've done 10 hours, I feel like I've done 14 in the TX4. But with the new cabs, if I do 8 to 10, I feel like I've only done 5. Right. So it's so much better.
I've heard a lot of drivers speaking to me. Obviously, we've invested a lot of money in the last sort of 12 months into new vehicles, new LEVCs. We're looking forward to investing more going forward. And I'm hearing drivers saying that from a TX4 to an LEVC, it's like going from a Mini to a Rolls Royce.
It is,
I think within that, yes, there is some advantages. I've driven a TXE to Manchester and to Liverpool, and I've also driven a TX4. I will never be driving another TX4 to Liverpool or Manchester. But with a TXE, yes, I think they're good vehicles and that they run nicely and they're smooth. But they're also good for the passengers. I think that is something that probably from the start of when you started 9 years ago to now, that the sort of emphasis now is always on the passenger. What can we give the passenger that's better? What can we make sure that it's better for the experience? And I think that all comes into the case now about experience from a driver's point of view. How do you believe that experience has changed? Has the customer changed? Is there a new way that a customer sort of interacts with you now?
As soon as they get in, they sort of look around. They're sort of like when I first got it felt like I was getting into a spaceship because it was so modern. So much more than the TX4s. And the customers now, they just get in. But I find that the cab is lower down now slightly.
Right.
I always make sure people mind check before you get in.
Yeah.
But the actual vehicle itself, when you get in, people just might look up and they can see it on the outside. They can see so much more.
And that's because of the panoramic roof on it. Yeah.
And the comfort of it all. The customers, many times they get out of the cab and they turn around and say to me, "That was a really nice ride.
Good.
Comfortable."
Well, I should imagine that's got to be down to the driver.
Oh, yeah. But, the combination between the two.
And I think also that, part and parcel, and that's why I think I asked the question, is that the driver, it's their business. It's what they do with the customer once the customer gets in board. It's like in a sweet shop or in a restaurant, you must give that customer a fantastic service because you want them to come back.
Yeah.
Now, you're not only doing that on behalf of yourself, you're doing it on behalf of a trade.
Yeah.
Because
it's my office.
It is your office, but there's also a trade that's with you that have got 16,000 drivers that are looking for that work as well as.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that the drivers give that very good impression of that gold standard, which every driver appears to be and wants to be, of that gold standard. So I think that's really important about what we give the customer experience. And I think that's what we've tried to do here at ComCab, with making the customer experience the best. With our offerings and everything else. So, your journey, 9 years in, where do you see yourself moving in the next 9 years?
Well, so I like to be just the way the work flows and the work for me, just going forward, just to make sure I get my license again for the next 3 years, and I want to see out.
Yeah. So, how many years does your license hold?
Every 3 years. Yeah.
Every 3 years, and they call that your bill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So your bill runs out every 3 years.
I've got mine up in August of 20.
And that comes in with medical.
Yeah.
Is there anything else other than a medical?
DBS and just the actual license itself.
Okay. Quite recently, there was a. Is it the Siri test?
Yeah, the serial test, the one up in. Not dreading, but like Tim says, the answers are in the question.
Yes.
If you look at it properly, so
yeah, I've had a few drivers, some quite elderly drivers that have come in and said, "Oh, we've done the knowledge. Why do we have to do another test?"
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as everything. We all used to pay with cash. Now we pay with a card.
Yeah.
And then from a card, it's gone, we pay with our phone. It's all about how technology and things move forward. And I think that the serial test is just another part for the customer to feel that the driver knows what they're doing and how things have advanced.
Like obvious things, really, like some of the questions. But going through it, like looking at it, some of those are tricky. I see, but I find, just looking at it properly, you can actually get the answer that you need to.
I've spoken to a lot of drivers about this, and they've gone up, they've done the test. I don't know anyone who's not passed. Everyone's passed. I don't know anyone that's failed. Or they haven't come and said to me that they failed, and they have to take it again. I don't think anyone's failed.
Yeah, it's all the way over to Greenwich. That's the point.
It is, yeah.
So it's not, main corner. So you want to be fully loaded before you go.
But I hear that word quite a lot. It's all the way. Yeah.
Well, job that way.
Exactly, right. But you know what? It's a case of it's all that way. We're talking from, I don't know, Tottenham to Greenwich. I don't think it's more than 6 miles or 7 miles.
Yeah, it's once you go through the tunnel.
So I look at that and I think I come on to the thing about running. I hear lots of drivers, I don't like to run for a job. But we all have to work.
Yeah.
We all have to find work. And it's how I think you limit your running mileage over a course of a period. Obviously, we use futures, which I know that you're a big advocate of.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of, you plot out your runs and everything else. And more drivers are looking at that now, I think, because they want to cut down their dead mileage, but what they also want to do is cut down their dead time. They want to sort of compile as much work into so many hours and then get their money and then they can go.
I mean, I'd say I'm finding maybe £250 just in jobs going home, because my days consist of two things, because I have to look after two dogs at the moment. So I'm looking after one, looking after the other, but at the same time, I'm getting jobs going back and forth. So when I need to go home after 5 hours for one dog, I can go back and get that job going home and then getting that job.
Yeah, I've heard very similar, not about dogs, but I've heard about people's children picking up from school and fitting it into their working life.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Which a normal street hailer don't have, because he don't know where he's going to end up. You pick up here and you end up there, you pick up there, you end up there. So I get that. So you dominantly work off your futures and street hail when you haven't got any futures.
Everything that you've supplied, the tools are there, everything is there for us to see. You just got to look at it and prepare yourself and plan yourself every single day, and that's what I do.
Right.
Because I might end up only taking 2 jobs, but by the time I get to go and do them, across to the regular looking through the system, I can end up with 6 or 7. And that's my whole day. That's my £200 and £250.
Right, okay, that's interesting. I think more drivers probably may look at that and go, where does he get it? But you're proof that it's there and it does work.
Yeah, you've got to be prepared to put yourself out, and you've got to be prepared to travel a little bit. You can't just sit within your cozy little nest around a certain area. You've got to branch out.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So from, obviously, we rent you the vehicle. We give you that. Do you have any issues with the rental way that we rent, or is there any?
Absolutely brilliant.
It's just nice and easy. I think we've come from, obviously, a unique positioning of having very large fleets within our own group under the CDG banner, who have, I think, 60,000 vehicles, something like that, under their feet. So we've looked at how their rental streams work and how we do things, and we try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, you make it very easy. But the backbone of the company is the staff. They're so amazing. So if I'm going to go home for dinner, I can just say, can you send that job, say it's 12 o'clock, can you send me that job for 1 o'clock? I'm going to have a break now. So the job comes through, and then I think that
go
again after lunch.
That does define us from a lot of other sort of app-based companies, because I look at ourselves, I don't sort of class ourselves as an app-based company, though we do have an app. And as of Monday, just gone, we have just launched our new consumer app, which has gone live. It's quite unique. It's a geographical app, because we obviously have ComCab Manchester and ComCab Liverpool. So as you hit a different city, the app, when you open it, will give you the tariff, meter tariff from that city when you book. So it's quite unique in that way. We're looking at promoting it, and we want drivers themselves, the ComCab family, to promote it, because the more they promote, the more they will see.
Yeah, cool.
So that's the type of things that we're looking at. Obviously, we've looked at technology. We're looking at new tablets. We're looking at new card machines because of new regulations. All these come with a cost, and there is always investment. But now being part of the CDG group, which is Comfort Delgro, who own Metroline buses, Australian Railway, they're endless. You look at what they own and their knowledge and their expertise, and being part of that group, which has obviously got the Addison Lee group in with it as well, that they look after us. They give us work and we carry out their work, which is very lucrative work for the drivers. So may long that continue. The one of the issues now, how are you finding with obviously the economic status that we're in, with the war and what's going on? Have you seen it become a little bit harder, or
not at all?
No.
I feel as if every day that weekend goes by, literally can go out there and get my targets, what I need to get.
And is that because you're putting in more of the TaxiCard work?
Yeah, just doing the TaxiCard. That's all I need. I don't, do anything else.
Right. Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From that point of view, what do you think you as a cab driver could have better in your industry?
Not much really, because for me, every time I go out, I hit my targets thanks to ComCab with the work that's supplied, and with the TaxiCard. I can actually do 5 years without driving with my light on, and 5 years not going to a rank.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to go to a rank or take someone in my cab. It's that the work literally flows through.
What do you think's the difference?
There's an instance.
Yeah.
There wasn't much work going on about 6 months ago, and I went out and I'd done about 12 locals, and I took nearly £220 in 4 hours just by doing the local jobs.
Right.
Just £10 here, £15 here, and it was good.
What, mostly street hours or?
No, TaxiCard.
Oh, TaxiCard.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Just doing all the
So I think that
live jobs and future jobs.
what is the difference then between a rank drive? You both go out, you both do the knowledge, you both have a taxi. One sits on a rank,
Yeah.
and one goes out to graft, as I call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it searching. Right. So what's the difference between them two types of drivers? Do you think?
I don't know. I think
Without sort of killing yourself and having all rank drivers come in and like wanting to jump all over you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I go past a taxi right now, and people see me and they say, "Oh, you look like we thought you'd left," but they don't see me. I only give them a nod wave now and again,
Right.
because I'm just literally moving all the time. I'm going from one job to the other job, £10 job, £15 job, a £20 job, a going home job. Everything's interconnected together. And with the rank driver, I think if you sit there, from my experience, you lose the will to carry on that day. You've sat there for so long for a job, which I have been through that.
Yeah.
And
Is that quite soul destroying in the fact that
because
you sat there for, I don't know, an hour?
an hour.
An hour of your time is worth X, and then you get a punter walk up, and the fare is £7.
£7, yeah. And then you come back to the rank, and then there's 10 drivers there. But you've gone all through that. But someone just before you has got a standstill.
Right.
So,
So you're always, listen, being in the courier industry, and I was always of that, looking for that golden egg every time, which is the Liverpool every day that comes out. I want that job. I want that job.
yeah.
But as we know, within a big circuit or in an industry, you may only see that once
Through.
in a lifetime. In some cases,
Yeah.
or you might only see it once every 6 months. So that's why I like to get that understanding of how a driver's mentality works, of sitting and waiting and I'm not running. I hear it so much.
Yeah.
I'm not running. So one of the things that we've done with the app is that we've built in a running mileage, because I don't want drivers to keep telling me that I'm not running. So the passenger has the option to pay the running mileage.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works, and we'll see how that goes. It's very early days. It was only launched on Monday. So I've used it myself, and it worked. I pre-booked a vehicle for 10 o'clock today to take a colleague of mine from here to Paddington, and it was taken, and the driver arrived a couple of minutes late, and it was done. I think that will work. I think that it is something that we can help ourselves on, and that's something that I want to make sure that we do. But is there anything else that you as a driver would like us to be doing? Is there anything in the industry that you believe that... And one of the big questions I have for you is the burning question that always is, why have you stayed 9 years as a yellow badge?
I only stayed 9 years and remained a cab driver, and will remain a cab driver because of the company that I work for, ComCab.
Right.
That's one reason, because the work is always there, and I know what I can get. I'm more or less, every day I know what I'm going to get. I know what time I'm going to finish. I can plan my life after ComCab when I've finished the work.
Yeah.
And literally, it just 9 times out of 10, I've finished at the time.
I understand that you're a very big advocate of ComCab. Thank you, right? Thank you for being that advocate. But also, there is a life and an industry outside of ComCab within your trade.
Yeah.
So, changing from a yellow badge to a green badge, we know that there's a lot more work. We know that there's a lot more effort. But I do have this thing in me that if you can learn and withheld the yellow badge, why did you never ever go on to a green badge?
About 20 years ago, I did the green badge.
Right.
I've done 260 months, and I gave it up.
Right, okay.
I learned a lot of the runs as well. So, but being the yellow as I am, because of ComCab and the way the work is,
you're just happy.
Literally, I feel as if I'm earning between £30 to £35 an hour on average.
Fine. We've just had literally today, we've had a new driver who was out, came out today, he got his bill today, and we was the first call that he made.
Oh, really?
And it was quite nice, because what he'd actually done, he'd actually been at the knowledge school that is run by Addison Lee, which ComCab helped start. Addison Lee fund it through Wizan. They pay for the drivers, because what is better than say a private hire driver who has worked in London for the last 10 years on the knowledge. He knows how to his customer service. He learns the knowledge. He becomes, and he ends up with that gold award.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important, that we carry on feeding the trade, because as we know, there has been a decline in numbers. I think a lot of it was to do with the boom, when all the big banks ended up on the island, and there was money being thrown everywhere. Everyone became a taxi driver. I think it went from something like 13 to 14,000 to 22,000. And now we're, as the boom and the decline and the doom and the gloom, we're now back down to our 14, 15,000 drivers. So has it changed? Possibly not. We're back to an even kill.
Yeah.
And I do read and I hear the doom and gloom about the game is over. Well, my father, God rest his soul, told me the game was over 40 years ago. And it's still now fighting strong, and people are still getting a good living out of it. And I think that's something that will carry on. We're seeing new, young, vibrant guys and ladies coming into the industry who believe that that's their way forward, and hopefully that will continue.
Yeah, there's definitely money to earn out there. There's literally, I'm so happy the way things are.
So on a
not just knowing that I can get what I need.
On a final note, then, what would you say to any perspiring knowledge boy?
Don't give up. Keep going. There's work out there for us, for all of us. And with ComCab as well, we can make this so much more easier. The money, it just comes. I feel as if I've got a yellow badge, but I think I've got a green badge license just because of ComCab, the way the work I've got.
Okay, on that side of it, it's something that it fits some people, it doesn't fit others, because of wheelchair and accessibility to disability. But that's one of the uses of our iconic brand, which is the taxi.
Yeah.
We have that gold standard because of what we represent. We represent the black taxi industry in London.
Yeah.
Which is, and we have a purpose. and that purpose was fit for purpose for wheelchair accessible vehicle. And we meet them regulations, and hopefully we will too as well. Obviously, we've had rumours about LEVC, and obviously we've been a big purchaser recently. We would like to know what their next future is. But for you as a renter, it don't really matter, does it? Because you'll just rely on us to give you the next vehicle.
It's always down.
Yeah, and it's always there. Yeah, I get that.
And working with a disability is good for me for getting those people. Some people you pick up, they've not been out for 3 weeks, but because of ComCab and they've got the TaxiCard and they've got the taxi itself, to going out feeling safe in that vehicle and making them sure they're strapped in well and the brakes are on, and making sure that they're feeling comfortable. And when they get out of the cab and they just say, "That was a lovely ride," it's just so nice.
It gives you that sense of that standard that you are,
Yeah.
And that's why I think the iconic black taxi. I think that gives you the right to say that.
Yeah.
That you are a caring individual that looks after the society.
Yeah.
It isn't just all about making a pound note. It is all about service, and that's the service that we give at ComCab, and being part of the ComCab family, having the DQOs, having the call centre, having the fleet operations, having the driver engagement sections, and we do have it night and day. So we're a 24-hour operation that runs 24 hours, 7 days a week. So a couple of questions are for you. Night or day?
Day.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Favourite journey?
Airport.
Okay. Cake or biscuit?
Biscuit.
Dunk or not dunk?
Both.
Okay. All right. Well, there are a couple of things that, it's part and parcel. Stephen, I want to thank you for coming down, giving me your time to have a chat about, and for me to just again understand more about a driver, because that's how I take my inspirations and how we move forward as a family to help more. So again, Stephen, thank you very much for coming down. People that have seen this is our first one. Stephen has done fantastic. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, send in your moans and groans. So, speak to you all later. All the best. Thank you. Be lucky.
Take care.